The following is a presentation of The Day.
Happy Thanksgiving Eve from the campus of Grasso Tech, home of the Thames River Crusaders, 9-0 on the year, and playing rival Quinebaug Valley here on Game Day. Game Day is brought to you by Waterford Dental Health. All that's good begins with a smile, and when you visit their office, your smile is their top priority. Their entire team is dedicated to providing you the personalized dental care you deserve, so contact them today at waterforddentalhealth.com for more information. Of course, after the game, you're going to want to find us on social media at Game Day CT for our interview with the Foxwoods player of the game. At the center of it all, it's Foxwoods Resort and Casino. Upcoming events include the Beach Boys, featuring the Holiday Vibrations Orchestra. That's November 26th. Tickets on sale now. For more details, visit foxwoods.com/entertainment. Only at Foxwoods Resort Casino, the wonder of it all. Casey O'Neill, along with the coach, Pasta Sanabria. I can't even pronounce my own name.
That's all right. You're slipping, but you do it.
Quinebaug Valley last year was the thorn in the paw of Thames River. They knocked them out of their playoff contention hopes. This year, the Crusaders ride in 9-0.
Yes, sir.
As dominant a team as there is in the area. We will talk about all of the numbers. And tonight, with a win, they will clinch a postseason berth and possibly even a home game. So a lot on the line tonight for the Crusaders.
Happy Pavo Eve, brother. I'll tell you, it's a great night for football. You're starting that pre-turkey feeling there, a little bit of a, but we're going to be all right tonight with this game. It's going to be a lot of action. Both teams look like they were ready to play tonight and bring all that energy out. And it's a great opportunity for a little bit of history here with Grasso Tech. First-year program, probably going undefeated. They get a chance to get this victory in.
Yeah, Thames River, has outscored opponents in a way that is unheard of, and we'll talk about that. Kickoff comes down. Quinebaug Valley takes it at the 20-yard line. Breaking a tackle, heading straight upfield, down the sideline. Mateo Alvarez. Alvarez crosses the 30, and a big kick return.
What a great start
by Alvarez. All the way to the 20-yard line. And that's exactly what the Pride needed. Quinebaug Valley, losers of 3 straight games, struggling right now at 5-4, and that's the kind of start they needed to get them into good field position here against Thames River.
Yeah, Javon Velez was right there to make the tackle, but we talk about shimmying down and slowing down your speed to get into tackling position. He didn't. One little juke move, and he was off to the races. What a great start for Quinebaug Valley right now.
1st and 10, Pride at the 20-yard line. Quarterback keeper Sebastian Hanshaw will hold on to the football and fall forward for a gain of about 4. Quinebaug Valley struggling in their last few games. They've lost 3 straight to Cheney Tech, Northwest United, and Bullard Colby. So previously to that, they had been playing better football. They started the year 4-0, then lost to Platte and won again. So at one point, they were 5-1.
Right.
Now 5-4 and facing their toughest test.
I tell you, they do look a pretty good team. They got a big offensive line. I mean, double wing can always be a good thing for you or a bad thing for you. Let's see how it works tonight for them.
Hanshaw is the quarterback under center.
Stop them, David.
Wingman in motion. They give it to Lamoth. And Lamoth is stopped on the edge. Not much there. It'll bring up 3rd and 6.
Way to stay contained right there. He came up and wrapped up and filled with just a couple yards gained there. I think this defense is, really set up to play against the double wing. I've seen it done before. You try to play just enough gaps. One of the things about double wing is that they want to wipe you down and then kick you out, or use that jet sweep game to kind of, pursue and get out the edge. So, if the defense holds those 2 little aspects of stopping the inside and the outside play, you'll have a good time tonight.
Chris Daly is the setback. Hanshaw under center. Toss right, and bouncing around is Alvarez. Nothing there. It'll be a loss on the play, and it'll bring up 4th down. Of course, no reason for Quinebaug Valley not to go for it here. 4th down inside the 20.
Those big hogs in the front right there for Thames River. They just stood up, those guys, and didn't give them a chance to kind of work downfield. So great job for the interior play right there.
Ball sits at 15-yard line, 16-yard line. It would be a 32-ish yard field goal if they were to attempt a field goal, but it looks like they're going to line up here and go for it on 4th and 6.
Now they're spreading it out a little bit.
Receiver right and left, still in the double wing, motion man across. Hanshaw pressured for the reverse, throws it right as he's hit. It's complete, but it'll be well short Good tackle, but Pursuit got there first on the edge. A good rush.
Yeah, a great defensive series there for Thames River. Those guys actually played everything by reading their keys. They pretty much fulfilled what they had to do there, stopping that offense.
Edge rushers for Thames River got there first.
Yep.
And hit Hanshaw right as he delivered the football. So
Boy, that pressure from the backside almost caught him, but he threw the ball right on time.
Thames River will set up first down. Ball is at the 19-yard line. And they're going to put Cunningham in motion. High snap. Handoff, bouncing outside is Outlaw. Outlaw will have a first down on first down. Ryan Outlaw, the big back for the Crusaders, gets them off to a good start.
Yeah, that was a good block by Seth Cunningham. Again, he motioned out, came back in. He needed to take that edge player and seal him inside so that that play could be running outside. So we're going to see some good blocking schemes here with this offense like we've seen them the last time they played.
Justin Outlaw is at quarterback for Thames River, operating out of the shotgun. Cunningham goes in motion again, high snap, handoff, Ryan Outlaw, tries to get outside, stiff arms, gets to the corner, shows speed to the outside, stays in bounds, gets another first down, and crosses midfield, 2 for 2 as the Crusaders are marching.
Yes, good movement by this offense right now. They seem like they're very disciplined. You know, a lot of the things that they're doing right now are trying to get to that point of attack. So, you know, we'll see a little bit more what's going on with them.
1st and 10, ball will be marked just shy of midfield, the 47-yard line, 1st and 10, Crusaders. Now, the Crusaders on the year have thrown 6 shutouts. And listen to this combined score.
Check it out, brother.
442 to 19.
That would affect the NASDAQ. I'll tell you.
That is
442 points this year.
to 19 given up. And we're going to get a jump offsides against Quinebaug Valley. That'll move the Crusaders up 5, bringing it up to 1st and 5. So 442 to 19. They've given up touchdowns in only 3 games.
Right.
They gave up a touchdown to Bullard in the first week, to Wilcox, Caner, and to O'Brien Tech. That's it. 6 other shutouts. However, there is a catch that we will talk about in a moment. 1st and 5. Cunningham sets up out wide left. Now motion man comes across. Wide pitch. Getting to the edge and bouncing it outside to the 35-yard line goes Xavier Jackson. And Jackson will have another moving of the chains for the Crusaders.
You know, for all those parents out there, you got to understand that the blocking scheme is a beautiful thing. When you see guys do body on a body, and you're seeing all these big blues are just coating these guys that are wearing the white jerseys and staying on their blocks, you get these big yardage plays. These are developing plays when it comes off the edge. And right now, Thames River is holding it down.
The brothers Outlaw in the backfield currently for Thames River. Now motion is Jackson. Handoff Outlaw, and he's hit right as he crosses the line of scrimmage. Coming up off of the pile is number 40, Nick Bouteau for Quinebaug Valley, and it'll be no gain. So that's no-go, Bouteau.
You know, they've changed the tempo now. They haven't been really just getting calls from the side. They're actually doing signals now to make sure that they probably cover some of these plays that they were normally doing while the call was, coach was calling. And that's a very good thing because when you're scouting a team like this, you definitely want to look for those little niches. So that's a good adjustment for Thames River.
Handoff to Cunningham. His first touch stops on a dime, cuts it back. Beautiful move, Seth Cunningham,
What a
as he
run.
crosses the 25-yard line.
Boy, he is running tonight. A lot of energy from this team right now. They are on their toes. They're just lining up, taking plays right now, and just going with the flow. This is a good drive for them.
Don't forget that for these seniors, this is possibly their last home game.
Yes, it is.
Brand new field, but their last home game potentially because they could be on the road in the first week of the playoffs and subsequent weeks. So, this is for a guy like Seth Cunningham, a 4-year player here, an iconic player in the history of this program. This might be his last home game. Motion Jackson across the right. Outlaw to keep it. Now cuts it back across the green. Beautiful move, breaks some ankles, heads to the outside and bumped out of bounds.
Man.
And we're going to need some the medical tent on that one because the ankles were completely snapped.
That was a good cut, and then he pressed it back to the outside. One of the things that I do like that everybody that's running the ball are securing the ball. As you've seen, our young man Cunningham, cutting to the outside. When he made that cut, he switched that ball to the outside to make sure that if anything did happen, it would go out of bounds.
Ball on the 6.
Outlaw with Cunningham to his right. And Ryan Outlaw in the left wing, motion man Jackson. High snap again, forcing Outlaw to keep it, dancing around and met by the center of the line. And so there's a good example of how a precision offense that involves wings and motion can get derailed by something as simple as a high snap. It wasn't dramatically high, but once he has to leave his feet to get the snap, it disrupts the whole timing.
We talk about motions when they're jet formation, motions that are coming off the backfield. Misdirection offenses, center has to make that snap right on time because it's all timed off his snap.
Outlaw stays in motion. Now Justin Outlaw, quarterback. Has time. In the flat it goes to Ryan Outlaw, and Outlaw
wide open.
Will waltz into the end zone. Outlaw to Outlaw, 6-0 Crusaders.
That was a great drive. A great drive.
As we await the Crusaders' point after attempt, you're talking about the center snap. The difference between a snap that hits the quarterback right in the hands and a snap that the quarterback has to reach even a foot in any direction. People don't recognize the significance. Even a foot in each direction can disrupt the timing of some of these plays.
Yeah. I'll tell you a couple things that I've learned through the center spot about that adjustment after this kick.
Jamison in to kick, the big lineman, 62. Good snap, good hold, kick is up, and it is rifled through. So with 6:24 remaining in the first period, 7-0 Thames River on top.
The center position is so important, and those practice, that we had when I coached, we practiced them before. We sent them out there to take snaps, and after practice, we did the same thing. When a quarterback is taking a snap and it gets down to the knees, automatically his head is out of position if he's throwing in a passing lane, trying to freeze a safety or trying to make sure he makes his reads. When also that adjustment left and right breaks the timing of the mesh point. And, guys think that, the mesh point is really easy to work with. It's really not, because it's a quick decision that he has to make either from an edge player on a run or to give that ball to him immediately on the surface of the body, because otherwise, any guy defender that comes in there to break that up can cause a disruption and fumble.
Now, I think the center is one of the most important positions on the field, but I'm biased as my son was the starting center at Bacon Academy, and he learned firsthand when the coaches pulled him aside and said, you're going to snap 100 times so you can hit the quarterback in his chest every time. Now, here's the problem, though. You're an unbiased source. What position did you play when you were in?
I played center. I was told two things I could never do. Never mess up the snap and never skip a snap practice.
That's right.
And they helped me out in that state championship game when that was -10. My hands were frozen, but I still could make those snaps.
Jamison with the kickoff. It'll come down on bounce, out of bounds. They kicked it back at Alvarez, who had the great opening return, but that one sailed out of bounds, so it'll be at the 35-yard line. Yeah, as offenses get more sophisticated, and even though we might look at the double wing and say, isn't this the same offense that has been run for? But there's always new wrinkles, and the key to the double wing isn't that it's tricking you by doing something you haven't seen.
Right.
It's the precision with which it's run. If it's done perfectly, it's very difficult to stop. And so that center snap begins that process.
That whole process, yeah. I remember, I think it was like, the early 2000s with the Fitch team that ran the double wing, and they were explosive. It really was difficult to read and try to find a way to stop them.
Hanshaw, hands off to Daly. Daly will get maybe a yard, but that offensive line is struggling with the powerful defensive line of the Crusaders.
I tell you, these defensive line right now, they're getting hands on, and we call it bench pressing. Bench pressing off that offensive player. They're just taking them and then making reads in their assigned gaps, and then they're going and they're now just working on pursuit. This is a real good defense. We've seen them play before, and I think they've developed throughout the year. Some things that I really do enjoy about great teams that are developing is that they add things into their package that makes them more strong, more defensive, on both sides of the ball. And right now, this defense looks like they're very happy with what they're doing.
2nd and 8. Ball is at the 37-yard line of Quinnebog Valley. They appear like they're going to take some air out of this. And quite frankly, if I was Quinnebog Valley, I'd be waiting for the back judge's hand on every play.
Yep.
I'm not letting the ball into Thames River's hands if I don't have to. Handoff Daly, off tackle play will net maybe 3 more to the 40-yard line. It'll bring up 3rd and 5. But, you know, Quinnebog Valley has to recognize that they can't get into a track meet with Thames River.
No, really. This is a good offense that can help them chew a lot of time in the clock. And as you can see, when they run that power off the edge very well and that safety's not coming down to make the play, you're gaining those yardages that you need. You know, their goal is to try to get 3 and, you know, 3rd down and 3 to help them to get over that first down mark and keep on, you know, holding the ball. The possession is the key for them.
So 3rd and a long 5, maybe 5.5. Hanshaw, motion man, draws Thames River off. Jumping on the play was Jaden Faison, and that's going to give a 5-yard gain. That should bring up a 3rd and very short. 3rd, maybe a half a yard. And as a defensive player, you know, there's you're on no man's land there because he stood up, he started to cross the line, and he went, oh no.
You know, coach is probably down there saying the same thing that we've said throughout many years. Watch the ball. Watch the ball.
Watch the ball. Don't jump.
You know?
Watch the ball.
And you know, with this being a turkey week, they should have said, hey, watch the ball like a turkey drum. You know, and you maybe earn that after the game. You know, it's a discipline that you have to have because these are the little things that would affect them if they get down the road in the playoffs.
3rd and a foot. See if they go quarterback keeper again here with Hanshaw. Motion man. Hanshaw hands off to Daly. Daly has the first down, crosses the 47-yard line. Nice run by senior Chris Daly. The chains will move for the Pride. A lot going on tonight across the state with playoff ramifications. If you haven't read our own Ned Griffin's breakdown on the Polecat, you should, because he makes sense of something more confusing than quantum physics. And right now, what I know is that there's a lot of movement tonight. We will try to make some sense of it as it relates to our local teams. Of course, we'll be back in action tomorrow at Fitch for Ledger and Fitch, and that game has ramifications as well. So we'll talk a little bit about where all of our teams stand going into tomorrow, the final day of the regular season. Handoff Daly, and he's hit almost immediately as he crosses the line of scrimmage. Semillian came in and gave him a whack after a gain of 2.
I tell you, that defensive tackle on the other side saw the trap coming, and he wrong-shouldered it, neutralized it, you know, and made that play just a 2-yard play instead of a big one. You know, those quick traps on that offense can really cause a lot of damage when you have that backer inside trying to read the off-tackle area. He might fly out of it, you know. That's why we have this little thing called cloudy to clear. You know, we stay in the clutter and we work our way up. When there's something wide open, you fill in the hole. And, you know, this linebacker right now was just a little bit shook on that play.
2nd and 8. Daly is the lone setback in the double wing. Motion man now. Jet sweep. Read well.
Wow, well done.
Alvarez got the ball, but he was hit in the backfield by Thames River's Rocco Sinelli.
Yes.
I love saying that. I love
Rocco.
calling Rocco Sinelli's name.
Sinelli, you know.
Rocco Sinelli,
Swagger.
great New London name.
Yes.
And I love calling Rocco Sinelli's name.
God bless him. Was a good athlete over at New London. Played baseball. Loved the game of baseball.
3rd and 6, ball at the 49-yard line of Quinnebog Valley. Double wing with Lamoth and Alvarez. Daly in the backfield. Lamoth motions. Hanshaw to throw. Has a man, and it's complete at the 30-yard line. Devin Cornell with the catch and a first down on a nice throw from Sebastian Hanshaw. First down for the Pride. Well, some scores in double S. The very talented Joel Barlow, who no one wants to play, up 49-14 over Weston. And in an absolute battle, Cromwell 7-0 over Rocky Hill. And that one has a lot of implications for Valley Regional. They're watching that Cromwell Old Lyme Rocky Hill game very carefully. First down and a big power eye. I mean, like, poor guy's going to have to run 40 yards to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
Toss left to Lamoth. Now, in fairness, Lamoth caught the ball in Groton and had to make it into Mystic in order to...
right there. That was a borderline that was big right there. I mean, I don't know why he was at depth. Usually our tailbacks, you know, in the scheme usually be 7
yards.
7 yards, right? And, this one was a little bit over 10. I don't know if that was a misalignment.
You know, and you played in an offense for years that ran that power eye.
Oh, yeah.
And ran it a little bit differently.
Right.
New London's power, I did have the running back a little deeper sometimes than most. Certainly Jamal liked a little bit of room. Shea liked a little bit of room. The eye has shrunk a little bit in recent years to maybe 6 yards, 5 yards. They want to get that guy.
Quick execution, blocking and attacking to the gap. And when you had a depth like, great running back like Jamal Johnson, we just want to make sure he had an area he could run.
Going to get a procedure penalty here, offsides, a illegal motion as Daly moves forward as the wingman went forward.
Yeah, the eye had many facets in what we utilize it for. And now that has evolved, and even at a professional level, you see that sometimes the fullback is a tight end hybrid kind of player. So, that has changed a lot. When before a fullback was a true fullback. We may have a few in the NFL now that are the same, but not as much anymore.
After this play, I want to talk about why right now I feel like New Year's Day in Vegas. And I'll explain that in a minute. 2nd down and 15. Motion. Toss. Little
pass.
Trickery. But the sack.
Good job.
Well in the backfield at the 50-yard line. Sinelli got there first. He wasn't fooled. Big loss on the play. Quinebaug Valley tried some chicanery, but Lamoth could not fool Sinelli.
Now Rocco stayed in his gap. He read it, and then he saw that it was a halfback pass, so he knew he had every dead to right to go after him. Again, the coverage was a lot better with the safeties. The play before, the safeties' heels were just stuck in the mud, and they had that quick pass.
We're at the end of the first period, 7-0 Thames River. You're watching Game Day live on theday.com.
You buy better. Better first. Much better. So much better first. The right insurance at the right price. You buy better first. You buy better first. You buy better.
The Burns Agency can feel it, and we know you feel it too. Fall is here. Crisp air, falling leaves, pumpkin everything, and football. So much football. With a new season upon us, it's a great opportunity to take a quick time out and make sure your insurance program is in order. The Burns Agency is here to help you play by play. Strong coverage, dependable service, and touchdown savings. Give us a call or visit us online. The Burns Agency, proudly serving Eastern Connecticut since 1932.
We're back here to start the second quarter action. It's going to be 3rd and almost 33 yards
on the marker over there.
for Quinebaug Valley. So we'll see what they drop here. They had a nice pass play to move the chains earlier, but on a couple of trick plays, nothing was going. We have a timeout here as Thames River will take a timeout. We'll keep it here. So what I was talking about, I felt like I was in Vegas. I've got the Weathersfield Newington game is on to the left of me. I got scores being handed out of the Twitter sphere left and right. So right now, Weathersfield is on top in that game, 7-0 over Newington. Thames River has a rooting interest in the Weathersfield Newington game. They are rooting for Newington because if Weathersfield wins that game, it will be very difficult and possibly unlikely for Thames River to get a home game.
Right.
So even though Thames River might finish 10-0 and might finish with a a score differential that's unheard of, they might be on the road, and that's because of the strength of schedule they played, which we'll talk more about.
Exactly.
But they could very well be at Weathersfield. That could be the game that they're at in the opening round of the playoffs. Now, Valley is rooting hard for Cromwell.
Phase 2.
Because they need to get in and only can get in if Cromwell beats Rocky Hill.
Right.
Cromwell returns the opening kick, and nobody wants any part of Joel Barlow.
That's
and
right.
right now, they're rolling 49-14.
You got it down packed. That was
we
like
haven't
pumpkin pie layered down,
We
brother.
haven't even gotten into Ledyard, Killenly,
Oh, my
Wyndham.
God.
We got so much
We got to
talk
save
about.
that one for tomorrow, but tonight you put it in.
3rd down. Handoff, Lamoth, and he'll get
Counter
back
was stuffed.
to about the line of scrimmage. And Quinebaug Valley will have to punt. Now, Thames Rivers has played 10 teams as of tonight.
Yes.
And 8 of the 10 teams that they have played have losing records. They're going to go 10-0 if they win tonight and maybe on the road. And it's because they aren't getting any of those bonus points from playing that schedule. And it's a dilemma that faces many of the tech schools that play in this conference. They are what they are. And so Thames River might be on the road next week in their opening playoff game, despite having not been, tested all year long. Punt is away. Dan Booten with the punt. It goes out of bounds, downed rather at the 25 by Thames River, not out of bounds. It's downed by Thames River at the 24-yard line. So Thames River will have its possession at the 24 as that punt took a sideways little, and the Thames River player appeared surprised by the bounce.
The bounce came back to him. He wasn't expecting it. It must be the new lighting here. They got these new lighting systems that look a lot better, these LED versions. But again, when you talk about the point system, brother, when I played, we always were like a NASDAQ. We jumped on the stats. We were trying to analyze where we were going to be at, and that helped us out. But when a team that you play does not win, you don't get those extra bonus points that you need, especially if you beat a big team that can give you those extra bonus points.
Well, you do now in a little bit, and we'll talk about that after this first down play. Handoff, Cunningham.
It's the outside play.
Burst to the outside. Now nicely funneled back inside, but he breaks a tackle, and he's a tough runner. He'll cross the 35, and he'll have a first down for the Crusaders. That was all Seth Cunningham.
Seth is running like a classic back that I always enjoyed watching when I was young. That, guy, he played for the Redskins. John Riggins, he just drives his feet, and then he's securing the ball. He is running with passion tonight, and that's the kind of leadership that's helped this team, to develop to be a 10-0 team.
So you get points not only for the teams that you beat, but you do get points for the teams that you play, the teams that they play.
Right.
So playing a good team strength of schedule, hand off to Outlaw, he cuts it back inside, and he'll gain 4. So the strength of schedule matters, but Thames River, being in a tech conference, doesn't have the choice of who to play, and so their out-of-conference game was, Plainfield and Montville.
Right.
And Plainfield and Montville have won 2 games between them.
Yeah.
And that's, if they had played, for example, Wyndham and Waterford.
Oh boy.
That might be.
I would guarantee that we would have that home game. Yeah.
Well, presuming that they beat either Wyndham or Waterford, that's the downside of that. Second down and 6. Outlaw going to keep it himself. Cuts it outside towards the sideline. Great block down the sideline. He's pushed out of bounds at the 40-yard line by Thomas Sweeney, but the Crusaders keep marching.
Yeah, I'll tell you, there's something that I love when it's offense. I used to always hate it when wide receivers were too pretty to block. These guys are blocking out there, throwing guys to the ground and making sure they finish their block, and then following their running back. One of the things that I've always enjoyed when I was coaching was we did drills that all the linemen and running backs would run to that running back, because you never know if a fumble occurred. We had numbers there to go get it. So they're playing some good sound offense, man.
7-7, Weathersfield and Newington. Newington has tied that game up. Here it's first down, Thames River. Handoff to Outlaw. He's got Cunningham, who gives him a block on the outside.
Nice block, Cunningham.
And Outlaw turns it up towards the first down marker. I think it'll be just shy. It'll be second down and 1.
So I'm saying there's 5 guys right there around that running back right now, securing the ball, getting him up, motivating him. That's a great psychological warfare in the game of football. When you see a defense that is just not able to stop that breaks the kind of morale. And right now, this offensive team is just working it.
So the possibilities of who this Thames River team plays, there's a number of possibilities. They could play virtually anybody in the class depending on how it adjusts, but they're going to need help to get that home game. But there's Killingly staring at them as well, and that could be a potential first-round matchup, where Killingly has played as difficult a schedule going out of conference for teams like Bloomfield.
Right. They played some tough teams.
And Brantford. So, right, so this is going to be where Thames River has to adjust. We have a flag on the play, but instead it's a timeout, Thames River. So we have a timeout. Let's go to this timeout, sponsored by the Burns Agency.
You buy better. Better with Burns. Much better. So much better with Burns. The right insurance at the right price. You buy better with Burns. You buy better with Burns. You buy better.
The Burns Agency can feel it, and we know you feel it too. Fall is here. Crisp air, falling leaves, pumpkin everything, and football. So much football. With a new season upon us, it's a great opportunity to take a quick time out and make sure your insurance program is in order. The Burns Agency is here to help you play by play. Strong coverage, dependable service, and touchdown savings. Give us a call or visit us online. The Burns Agency, proudly serving Eastern Connecticut since 1932.
Game Day is brought to you by Waterford Dental Health. All that's good begins with a smile, and when you visit our office, your smile's our top priority. Thanksgiving, it's time for a smile. Your team down there at Waterford Dental Health, they're going to take good care of you. They're going to provide you all that dental care you need. So you go to waterforddentalhealth.com, you get more information, but you got to visit our folks at Waterford Dental Health. They'll take good care of your teeth. Here it is 2nd and short, and Outlaw is in the shotgun. He sends Cunningham in motion. He's going to throw. Pressured, steps up, has the first down, shows the legs, cuts across the 20, bounces it outside,
Wide open.
Gets one more block, and waltzes into the end zone. Touchdown, Justin Outlaw. He's thrown for one, he's run for one. 13-0, Thames River.
What a great run.
I'm going to give credit to the wide receivers because
Yeah.
when he cut back,
You see how they all sealed off?
they all sealed off.
It's like they know a number, they're going after that number and keeping their hands right on them. And their feet moving too, because a lot of this, wide receiver blocking schemes have to have quick movement of the feet. If you move one way or the other, you can get a holding penalty out of it. No, they're fired up tonight.
And Jonah Eddy, number 9, who's back in the lineup for Thames River, chose to not make the block, which he realized could only cause a problem.
Yep.
Just got in the way. Jameson on with a kick. It is up. It is good. And with 8:22 remaining here in the first half, 14-0, Thames River on top. So it looks like Killingly is not only a lock for a home game, but it looks like they'll finish. They still have to go play Woodstock in Massachusetts. They're playing on the campus of Nichols College.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome.
Which people are somehow up in arms about, as if that negate. Although Nichols is closer to both schools than, for example, New London is.
I mean, we utilize the Coast Guard here for our local schools. I mean, why can't we have a chance?
Coast Guard's still in Connecticut. They're going out of state for the
that's
game.
What it is. That's what it is.
I think it's just a function of people liking to.
Listen, I heard there's a penny for your thoughts, a nickel at the game. That's it. Boom.
Wyndham is in, and will be interesting, and maybe our own Mike tomorrow can answer this. Where would Wyndham play their home game if they had a home game? TBD, that is, of course, to be determined university.
Oh, you got me thinking there, brother. I was about to say.
Well, what happens when you have a home game but you don't have a home field, which is where
true.
Wyndham's at right now, as their beautiful new facility is not up and running yet. They will have to find a facility to host them. Jameson's kick is taken at the 20-yard line by Alvarez. He crosses the 30 down to the 34, and that's where Quinnebog Valley will have it 1st and 10. So Killingly with a likely home game, Wyndham with a likely home game, just not at their home, at somebody's home. Ledyard is anywhere from hosting a game to not being in at all, and Thames River right now is battling for a potential home game. So it is possible that on Tuesday night, 4 of our local teams have home games in the postseason.
Wow. You are on fire tonight with
Well,
this stuff,
for what
man.
some people
I'm telling
consider to be a down year in the ECC, having 4 home games is a
you. It's a
nice
very
start.
good thing. I mean, we're talking about preseason. If the ECC division was a tough division, they've shown a lot of character this year.
Ledyard, of course, is more interested in getting the sword back tomorrow
Amen.
versus Fitch. First down, motion man. Handoff straight up the gut for very little gain, as Thames River's interior has done a really nice job clogging up that dive. The carry was from Daly, who's been their most effective runner, but nothing there.
I've had a chance to hold that plaque out there at Fitch High School with my first victory there, getting the sword, and then having it for a streak that we had for quite some time, and then losing it and trying to fight and win that. I mean, those games up there on a Thanksgiving Day is windy, it's cold, it's a lot of action and a lot of desire and passion. So it'll be great tomorrow to check that one out.
I'm going to ask a question here after this play, and it's everyone here, the game day group here in the booth, are going to have to give one answer to this question of that I'm about to pose, but I'm going to wait for this second down play for the Pride. Hanshaw. And that is a broken play as Hanshaw bounced into his running back, Lamoth, and there was no gain. The question I pose is, what is an essential element for something to be a good rivalry? Because tomorrow is Thanksgiving, tonight is Thanksgiving Eve, and all these games are rivalry games. Some are much bigger rivalries than others. So what is an essential component for something to be a good rivalry?
Oh my God! Well, If I throw anything first out there, it's the alumni status. When alumni come or reunite or meet, up for the holiday spirit, they want to go and represent their home team. They want to leave with a victory so they can enjoy their meal. And that's what Thanksgiving's all about, triggering that chance to get a victory and have a good meal like that. So, here we go.
Pass batted down at the line of scrimmage, so that'll bring up 4th down, and Quinebaug Valley will have to punt. So you're saying alumni support survey says, ding, that'll come in at about 7 or 8.
That's right.
I'll
take the 7 points.
7 or 8 in the alumni support.
That's all
so
right.
for Peter Wappy and Mike DeMoro, you are welcome to chime in. Peter Wappy, what is an essential element to a good rivalry?
History. It's got to be.
Ooh.
Absolutely.
There you go.
High on the list.
Survey says,
Throw it up
bing,
there.
number 1.
Number 1.
Can't have a good rivalry without history. Why are the Yankees and the Red Sox such good rivals? Because they've been playing for years. Little fake punt thrown up for grabs, and it's picked off at the 50-yard line. So
well covered.
It ends up being similar to a punt, but Thames River will have it in good field position.
Yeah, those linebackers saw that happening, and instead of just attacking, they had enough linemen going after them. They dropped back and played the under on the receiver, got that pick off. Good job. I mean, this game, they're playing very physical and showing a lot of energy, but the score's still close. It's 14-0, brother. It's not like a blowout here.
They're about to have a third possession, and I'm going to guess it's going to be 21-0.
Let's see. Well, you've been good. You've been 3 for 3 so far. Let's see if we can go 4 for 4.
I believe history is essential to a good rivalry. I believe that rivalries also need to involve something geographical.
Territory.
Whether it's river rivals, border towns, a place where battles were literally fought.
Ooh.
You need some form of geography
Right.
for a rivalry. Not as much as you get up north, in colleges, but that relies on history. Here's Cunningham with the first touch. He cuts it back inside, breaks a tackle, breaks another tackle, and wrestles forward. First down for Thames River. Seth Cunningham, 32-yard line where they'll have their next touch.
He again showed me something different in that play, securing the ball and using his hands with his blockers, kind of a Larry Zonka attitude in this one. This kid's really phenomenal. I'm really enjoying the way he's been playing this year, and a great energetic kid. He speaks so well, talks about his team, about his brotherhoods, and his players and his team. He really enjoys it.
Outlow from the shotgun, high snap, ball's on the turf, and he'll dive on it back at the 45-yard line. If there's been a knock on Thames River tonight, it has been some difficulty with the snapping. Mike DeMoro, do you have an answer for what you consider essential for a rivalry?
Sometimes we win, sometimes they win. Like Duke and Carolina.
Oh, bro, that's
so a rivalry for many years. For example, many years the Yankees would have said the Red Sox isn't a rivalry because they never win. They never beat us. You have to win something in order for it to be a rivalry. So a certain amount of success on both sides for it to be a rivalry. I like where this is going so far.
Got some historians up here.
Outlow to throw. Has time. He's going to take off, and he's dragged down from behind.
His knees were down.
He was down, but
marking him down,
sack on the play. That's Nick Buteau. Buteau says no to Outlow's go. The flow stops, and it'll bring up a 3rd and long.
That was a great play. He did settle down. He saw that he was coming up, and instead of running up the field, he kept his feet under him, shimmied down, and made a good tackle there. Otherwise, he was breaking away again.
The point that Waterford East Lyme is a great rivalry because they both win. They both win. They go back and forth. It's hard for a rivalry when one team is 72 and the other team's won 5.
Right. Big difference.
It's hard for a rivalry. That's right. I asked that question of AJ, and he'll laugh after this 3rd down play from Thames River. Outlow to throw. Has some time, now pressured up the gut, so he's going to keep it. Rolls, throws on the run, wide open is his brother, Ryan Outlow. Outlow crosses the 20, we're still on his feet, down the sideline, touchdown! Thames River, another Outlow to Outlow. There is, however, a flag on the play. And that might be a legal man downfield or a block in the back.
It could be.
Let's find out what it is. Weathersfield, Newington still tied at 7. Cromwell now up 10-0 on Rocky Hill.
Oh, boy.
And we'll
Valley Regional right now is smiling from ear to ear right now. Keep it going. I love these last weeks where everything is critical. And you know what? It's a team you might not even seen and thought of during the preseason where you need their help. This is better than the NFL. I mean, this high school combination with the final points and with teams that are in that 8 spot, you never know what's going to happen.
It is a legal man downfield. which inevitably happens when the quarterback breaks contain like that.
Yeah.
Lineman drifts, and that's going to negate the long touchdown to Outlaw and instead bring up 3rd and we'll call it 22, I believe now, after the penalty. Ball back on the other side into Thames River. So if you're asking, what derails Thames River, bad snaps, penalties.
And penalties, that's it. Yeah.
When they get a good snap and the play doesn't, they're getting whatever they want.
Yeah. Really good example how the mesh point is so important, the timing of the snap to the quarterback. I know Coach this week is probably going to increase that workout.
Fake handoff here. Outlaw steps up, slings it, and it's incomplete. Stepping up was Alvarez to break it up, and that'll bring up 4th down at midfield. We'll see what the Crusaders choose to do. Now, other aspects of a good rivalry. Bad blood, which is inevitable when there's history. But, what was the best thing to happen to the Red Sox rivalry with the Yankees? 2 things. 1, the Red Sox actually winning. As Mike DeMoro says, if that doesn't happen, it's not a rivalry. Right. And 2, Veritek mushing A-Rod in the face.
Wow, you brought back deep.
And Pedro throwing 85-year-old Don Zimmer to the ground.
Yeah.
I was at that game, by the way.
You was at that game?
Peter Wappy was actually heard yelling, hit him in the face, hit him in the face. Punt comes down and takes a
good coverage right here, guys.
Good bounce for Thames River inside the 30 to 24-yard line.
So we were so far away in the bleachers that we had to call home to ask,
what happened?
Did someone just throw Don Zimmer onto the ground?
Oh, man. With or without the helmet.
So I do think bad blood is a part of it. Other things, anytime the mascots
I was
get
going to say,
involved.
mascots, throw them in there.
Well, because does anyone remember when Bevo, the steer for Texas, tried to literally impale Uga, the poor Georgia Bulldog?
But I thought Uga almost bit somebody too.
Uga almost bit a player. But the Texas Longhorn, who outweighed Uga by 1,400 pounds.
Yeah, 1,400 pounds of pure beer still.
Broke contain and tried to eat him. First down, Quinnebog Valley at the 25-yard line. Motion man is Lamoth. Handoff Daly. And not much there. Nice
good defensive effort there.
On the edge by Jaden Kirkwood.
I also think, too, different types of trophies. I mean, there's college, they have the hammer, they have the bell. These are items that they bring home for a full year that kind of just sticks it to the team that loses.
Well, you mentioned the sword, right?
The sword, every year I hear it from Pat Richardson when we won. It was like, let me tell you right now, I'm not going to give you fish fry until we beat you. And, it was hard not to have some fish fry for over 9 years, brother.
And that man can reel some fish in, too, so he's no joke. I'm going to ask you a question, and after this second down play from Quinnebog Valley with a 14-0 Thames River on top, because there's another rivalry game tomorrow that is interesting, and I'm going to talk a little bit about Bacon Academy and Ram, and I'll explain why in a moment. Motion man, Hanshaw, the quarterback, under center. And
the
counter play, big hole.
There he is.
The open,
nice
there goes
breakaway.
First down, Lamoth.
Very good block.
And so Devin Lamoth crosses the 45-yard line. So part of why Bacon Academy doesn't have a real rivalry with anyone in the ECC is because they don't have the history. They're not an ECC team. They're out of the conference. Their biggest rivalry is with Ram, their Thanksgiving Day team.
Yeah.
What does Bacon Academy and Ram play for on Thanksgiving?
Oof, we got this. This is
Mike DeMoro knows.
Mike DeMoro knows?
Does Peter Wappy know? No, Peter Wappy and Mike DeMoro knows.
Let me see. I'm guessing.
I will give you to the end of this play.
Sounds good. All right, let me think about this. This is like a Ram.
First down, ball at the 45-yard line. Double wing, Daly, the lone setback, and Quinnebog is taking their time. They're going to wait for that back judge. There goes the hand. They'll run the play. Quarterback, keeper, and nothing there. Ram and Bacon Academy play for?
I would say a hammer.
Not bad. Wrong end. They play for the nail.
What?
And the nail is
Yo!
a actual rail for the railroad that runs along the airline trail back in the beginning of these two schools.
That's amazing.
The airline trail had, so it was actual railroad
So
tie, an actual nail.
The big one, the steel that goes right into
Yes.
the track?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
And they play for the
And
nail.
they have a plaque that's connected
Yes.
to it? Oh, man, that is amazing.
And all I have seen all week long is bring home the nail. Like
Bring
that's-
home the nail.
And so I do think that is an important part
Yes.
of a rivalry, is something to play for.
Yeah, something to keep on the other side and be like Nanny Boo Boo for a whole year. Ain't nothing better than that.
2nd and 11. Interesting formation here for Quinebaug Valley as their running back looks like he's about to punt.
Yes.
There's the counter again, this time Alvarez. Alvarez
Way to fill up there.
gets just past the line of scrimmage, gain of 2 to bring up 3rd and long.
Yeah, that was a good fill by the safety. He came down full speed. He read it off the rip and wrapped him up. Forcing a nice 3rd and long right here.
Still 7-7, Newington and Weathersfield. We'll get you a Cromwell Rocky Hill score in a moment. Of course, those of you watching right now, join us tomorrow, 10 a.m. at Fitch High School as the battle for the sword. Ledyard Colonels and the Fitch Falcons. Ledyard looking to solidify their spot in the postseason. Fitch trying to get the sword and keep it where it's been for quite a few years now. Ledyard desperately wants that back in the fold.
Yeah.
Oh, and a new score in the Cromwell Rocky Hill game. Cromwell 17, Rocky Hill 0.
There's a timeout called on the field.
So Valley, well, we have a timeout on the field of 40 seconds, and we'll take advantage, and we'll take a timeout, sponsored by the Burns Agency.
You buy better. Better with Burns. Much better. So much better with Burns. The right insurance at the right price. You buy better with Burns. You buy better with Burns. You buy better.
The Burns Agency can feel it, and we know you feel it too. Fall is here. Crisp air, falling leaves, pumpkin everything, and football. So much football. With a new season upon us, it's a great opportunity to take a quick time out and make sure your insurance program is in order. The Burns Agency is here to help you play by play. Strong coverage, dependable service, and touchdown savings. Give us a call or visit us online. The Burns Agency, proudly serving Eastern Connecticut since 1932.
40 seconds remaining in the first half. 14-0 Thames River on top. Quinebaug Valley with the football, 3rd and long, and really, I think, trying to get into halftime with that 14-0 deficit and keep it there. They did a nice job on the last possession. And so here we have 3rd and 9. Motion man is Alvarez. High snap handled by Henshaw, loses it, and there it is on the turf. And I think it was eventually covered up by Quinebaug Valley after that greased pig slid around a few times.
Yeah.
We're going to get a timeout. Thames River, they're going to force Quinebaug Valley to punt. 35 seconds remaining here in the half.
This formation really, I mean, they're really kind of just physically or, and angle-wise taking themselves out of the play. For a quarterback to be that deep, like a running back, and then the tailback to be deeper, those edge players got a clean run on them. And so, this formation, I don't know if it's just kind of something that coach wants to put in to create a little bit of nuances, but, it's not helping them at all. Forcing them in 4th and 15 right now.
Now, here's another, so as we go back to our rivalries.
Yes.
You're talking Fitch Ledyard, right? Rivalry.
Yeah.
Except, for our generation, it was Fitch New London.
Yes.
Because that was the Thanksgiving Day game. So rivalries can change also based on when you play them. New London NFA, though the oldest high school football rivalry, is not the same rivalry that New London Fitch was because it was the Thanksgiving Day game.
Yeah.
Westerly Stonington is a rivalry because it's on Thanksgiving Day.
Yeah.
There are certain games that have the dates attached to them. So I don't think of NFA as the rival when I think of growing up. I think of Fitch.
Right.
That's because it was the Thanksgiving Day
That's
game.
right. What's the word? Get the bird.
Birds.
That's right. Get the bird. I used to have a lot of Falcon
Punt taken at the 30-yard line by Velez.
outside.
Velez breaks a tackle, breaks another tackle. Great block on the
movement.
weak side.
He's sealing up the block.
Reversing field and out of bounds at the 50-yard line with
Wow.
17 seconds remaining.
These guys are playing for each other. He knew that he was having a hard time. The pursuit was really good there. But as soon as he cut back, their teammates, instead of watching him, they went and they found a body again. Man, these guys are playing well tonight. Another thing I wanted to add to
Yeah.
this whole rivalry thing.
Yes.
is that you're either the OG, like New London and NFA, one of the the oldest game, or you're the oldest Thanksgiving game, like Stonington and Westerly, right? That's those rivalry right there.
And I think that adds to that history component that Peter brought up, which I think is essential. Now, 17 seconds remaining. Quinebaug Valley needs to be in a bit of a prevent here, as they'll take a timeout. We'll keep it here. When I talk about history, and I think another thing too, that rivalries were cemented that in a time when, for example, Thanksgiving was all you had, right? So, New London Fitch played at, for example, Veterans Park in New London before there was a Canamella Field. Used to get 5,000 people, regardless of the records of the teams.
I saw a picture of Kent Reyes. He kicked a game-winning field goal. Now, what was good about that picture, there was two of them. One, when he was lining up to kick it, there were kids on top of the roof of the house in Georgiana Avenue.
Yes.
And then when he post-kicked it, the kid was going on the other side of the roof to get it. That's how far Kent kicked that ball.
And it's 5,000 people on Thanksgiving Day, regardless of their records. There were some times when New London would roll. New London and Fitch would roll in every year, 8-1, 7-2, 9-1, undefeated.
Right.
And occasionally you'd get a year where someone was 5-4 or whatever. Mm-hmm. But regardless of records,
you never underestimate. Yeah.
There was always thousands of people there.
Right.
And so that's part of it. So some of the new rivalries that have had to form, for example, New London NFA doesn't have that history on Thanksgiving Day.
Right.
It has a history in general.
Yeah.
Outlaw pressured, steps up, has room, crosses the 40, looks to get out of bounds, and will at the 30-yard line with 8 seconds remaining. So nice job by Justin Outlaw, the quarterback, getting out of bounds, and it'll give Thames River one last chance here with 8 seconds remaining.
First down, Crusaders.
That was a very smart move. He knew that the time was going to be short. He wasn't going to make it to the end zone, so to run out of bounds and stop the clock.
So they'll mark it.
I'll tell you, if they can get it close and there's time left, I would go for a field goal. That young man could kick.
He can, but 8 seconds, they're going to have to get a play that gets him maybe to the 15-yard line to give him a real chance. And Quinebaug Valley just burned a timeout. So with 8 seconds remaining here and a 14-0 Thames River lead, we will take a timeout. This one is sponsored by the Burns Agency.
You buy better. Better with Burns. Much better. So much better with Burns. The right insurance at the right price. You buy better with Burns. You buy better with Burns. You buy better.
The Burns Agency can feel it, and we know you feel it too. Fall is here. Crisp air, falling leaves, pumpkin everything, and football. So much football. With a new season upon us, it's a great opportunity to take a quick time out and make sure your insurance program is in order. The Burns Agency is here to help you play by play. Strong coverage, dependable service, and touchdown savings. Give us a call or visit us online. The Burns Agency, proudly serving Eastern Connecticut since 1932.
First and 10, Thames River, 14-0 lead, 8 seconds remaining in the half. We'll see if they can get into either field goal range or one last play towards the end zone.
They're definitely playing some prevent 4 deep right now. Those safeties are at the 3-yard line.
Outlaw fakes it to Cunningham. Now he's pressured. Bounces to the outside. He's going to stay behind the line of scrimmage and throw it into the flat to Cunningham, who gets out of bounds at the 20-yard line, but that says zeros on the clock. So what are they going to do? And it's halftime. So we are at halftime here, 14-0. Thames River on top of Quinebaug Valley. Stay tuned for the Grade 8 of the week. We'll be back on the other side. You're watching Game Day live on theday.com. It's time for Game Day's Grade 8 Plays of the Week. Coming in at number 8, New London Football, Jose Rivera, shaking off the blocker, fighting his way into the backfield, and making the tackle on the edge. All work from Rivera. At number 7, Jackson Polton, the jump throw off the back foot with pressure. Look at Liam Stalbush come back to the football. Great play. Skylar Bell, volleyball. She might be the libero, but that doesn't mean she can't get up and spike for the kill. At number 5, what do you do when you're on your own 1-yard line? Well, if you're Aiden Johnson, you throw it up top. And you trust Anthony Barbuto's gonna go and get it and outrace and outfight and out-tough 99 yards for the Montville touchdown. What a play. Not to be outdone at number 4, they call him the playmaker, maybe the human joystick, James Green. Look at the move! Cuts to the outside, breaking ankles, and gets in for the touchdown. Nate Hines of Waterford, not to be outdone, might be a quarterback, but look at him run! Gets to the outside, and he is gone, outracing all of Bacon Academy to the end zone for the Lancers. Hey, it's senior day at Bacon Academy, so how about a couple of seniors? Quarterback Jack Holmes, wide receiver Colin Obrius, great protection up front, the bomb, touchdown, Bobcats in front of the home crowd. But at number 1, it's the Soren Reef Show. Call him the postman, because he always delivers. The beast is going on a bear hunt. 1 bear, 2 bear, 3 bears, 4 bears, 3 bears, no more. Touchdown, Reef, Killingly. Hey, send us your top plays and make the grade 8. After the game, we're going to find us on social media at Game Day CT for our interview with the Foxwoods player of the game. Summer isn't over at Foxwoods. Summer's never over at Foxwoods. For more details about all the entertainment you can find at Foxwoods, go to foxwoods.com. Foxwoods Resort Casino, the wonder of it all. Game Day opens the high school basketball season back at the Mohegan Sun with the 2nd annual Day Holiday Classic. We'll bring you 3 games on Monday, December 19th. First, a rematch of last year's Division I championship game between East Catholic and Notre Dame of West Haven. Next, a rematch of last year's Division III semifinal as St. Bernard takes on Daniel Hand. And finally, ECC rivals New London and NFA see if they can top last season's buzzer-beating drama. It's the Day Holiday Classic, Monday, December 19th at Mohegan Sun Arena, and streaming live on Game Day.
I believe that there's moments that really change your life. And the talent show is definitely one of those moments.
I'm not alone in this world. Seems like everybody out there wants to have a chance to be.
The talent show basically legit saved my life. I would have probably been in jail or probably be dead.
Put me back in my place, but I won't make it easy on them.
I'm a traumatic brain injury survivor.
I was addicted to alcohol, opiates, then it turned to heroin.
It's very taboo to be gay or to be trans.
And it's never been so clear that you got a place. Now show us your face and get up on that stage and let the world know.
We're not looking for sympathy, that's not what we're doing. We're looking to prove a point that arts can heal.
That space, that energy, that magic, that's already therapeutic in itself. And that's what this New London Talent Show does. It allows young people to rip off labels that people put on them and come out of their own box or their own fears.
Look, know that you can do anything that you try to do with faith in the man above and power that's inside of you. They're trying to stop you, don't let them block you or lie to you. If you let them, then they're liable to silence you.
We could have been the stereotype. We could have been those people and fit the mold. The true measure of a person is how they respond to the negative things, how they respond to tragedy. And this is our response.
This place destroys fear, destroys it, and empowers young people.
We're back. You're watching Game Day, and it's brought to you by Waterford Dental Health. A lot of smiles here the night before Thanksgiving, and Waterford Dental Health, they care about your smile. It's their top priority. They're going to give you all kinds of personalized and gentle care. You deserve it, so contact them at waterforddentalhealth.com for more information. Hey, at the end of the game, you want to find us on our social media sites, Game Day CT, for the Foxwoods Player of the Game. It's at the center of it all, Foxwoods Resort and Casino. Go check out the Beach Boys with the Holiday Vibrations Orchestra November 26th. Foxwoods.com/entertainment. It's Foxwoods Resort Casino for the wonder of it all. Casey O'Neill and the coach, Pasta Santabria. 14-0. Thames River on top. They're going to get the opening kickoff, and I don't think Quinebaug Valley would have asked for a different score, but they left a little bit out there. Offensively, they had a couple of opportunities, and I think Thames River is going to have to shore up some of those snaps that we saw there. But pretty crisp first half. What do you expect here in the second?
Well, Thames River, they controlling the game overall. It's just the points. They haven't got any. But, I think that this gives a chance for Quinebaug Valley to stay strong and play close. You never know what can happen.
Considering the scores of Thames River's games, 49-6, 47-0, 42-0, 55-7, to have 14-0 at halftime, Quinebaug Valley's got to feel pretty good about where they are. But they are kicking off here to start the second half. And they go with the onside kick. It's squibbed. It's on the turf. It's loose. And I believe it's recovered by Thames River at the 38-yard line. It is close. Coming up with the ball for Thames River was Colby Quinn. And that was that grease pig.
Yeah, it's slippery out there. It gets cold. Actually, a football will shrink a little bit if you don't provide the right areas.
That's too soon.
Too soon?
Too soon for the Patriots. No, too soon.
We can't use the needle?
Too soon.
Oh, my goodness.
No, it's been scientifically proven that doesn't happen, evidently.
Maybe some of these running backs tasted a little bit of the turkey flavor, and now they have it in their finger and it's
What
slipping.
happens is that a football goes end over end. As Peter Wappy told me, a soccer ball does not go end over end, despite my calling it as such. Outlow in the shotgun on first down. Motion is Jackson. Snap is good. Hand off to Cunningham. He bounces off tackle. He has the sideline. Cuts it back inside. Another big chunky yards. First down. Into Quinebaug Valley territory goes Seth Cunningham.
I'm going to be honest with you. I think this is great for Thames River right now because you don't have them thinking, we're going to put the guys out, get the JVs in. They're playing a game that's going to be something that they'll have to face when they get into the playoffs, that it's not going to be easy. So this is a good challenge for them right now.
A lot going on around the state. We'll give you some scores and some updates of how that might affect the postseason of our local teams, including these Crusaders. Handoff, Outlow, gives it to Outlow, big hole. Outlow cuts it up, puts his head down and crosses the 25-yard line. Ryan Outlow, first down Crusaders.
Did you see that trap play? Boy, that guard kicked them out and sent them right to the numbers. A great block. And an Outlaw cut right inside and just went downhill.
So it'll be first down and the ball at the 24-yard line of Quinebaug Valley. Barlow won big over Weston, 56-20. Right now at the half, Cromwell on top of Rocky Hill, 17-0. And boy, how Valley would be dancing if that score holds up. And what's interesting is with a Cromwell win, it could in fact promote a Cromwell Valley rematch, which of course Cromwell won 28-27 in what Mike DeMoro said was the game of the year. Jackson with the handoff, gets to the outside, cuts it back now, little stutter step down the sideline. First down, Crusaders. They're in the red zone, threatening here on their opening drive of the second half.
I love that teamwork that they're doing right now with their blocking scheme. Everybody is doing something on that field every play.
Flag on the play. And they're walking back what appears to be a block in the back. And that'll back up Thames River.
It's a holding.
A holding penalty on the edge there, yeah. Other games of note, we mentioned Newington on top of Wethersfield, 14-7 in a game that does affect Thames River. If they want a home game, they need that score to hold on.
True.
Fairfield Prep with a 14-0 lead over the number one team in the state, West Haven.
Wow.
And Massac of Monroe trailing Newtown 13-12. Of course, Massac was a potential first-round opponent for Killingly. Massac, a tradition team. Of course, the New London's finest Casey Cochran with all kinds of records down there at Massac of Monroe. First down, Cunningham comes in the backfield. Outlow's going to keep it himself. Justin Outlow bounces it to the outside, picks up some yardage and crosses the 20, and he'll be back near the line of scrimmage, but we're going to get another flag.
About the 15, flag on the play.
And it's very, very difficult to determine what is a flag and what is Justin Outlaw's shoes when he's running down the sideline.
They are yellow. They got little red tips on it too.
Running down the sideline, and I thought there was 3 flags on the play. It just turns out it was Outlaw running.
I think it's going to be against Quinnebog. It's a face mask call.
It's going to be a face mask penalty. You got it right, Coach, against Quinnebog, and that'll put Thames River into a first down and goal situation when it's all said and done. Ball will be marked at the 9-yard line. 10-14 remaining here in the third period. 14-0 Thames River on top. First and goal with Outlaw in the shotgun, barking out signals, and he gets the snap. Ball's on the turf, but it's picked up by Ryan Outlaw. He's going to try to stiff arm. There's flags all over the place. He's brought down for a loss. Nice tackle by Mateo Alvarez, but again, high snap. That handoff was supposed to be to Cunningham. It was picked up by Outlaw off the turf.
Back flags on this right here series. It's kind of a back and forth situation, but this is what we're talking about when we talk about stock blocking in the outside perimeter with receivers. If their feet are not moving and they cause that defender to just kind of grab and hold, it's automatically going to be called out there. It's very visible. So, you know, they're kind of not being disciplined as they were before in the first half. Got to keep that momentum and energy.
So that's a hold against Thames River. So they're going to be back to the 25-yard line. First and goal from the 25. So the snap was high, the exchange with Cunningham on the turf, and then a hold backs him up. So Justin Outlaw will stand on the 30-yard line here on first and goal. Hands off to Cunningham, off right tackle. Cuts it outside and breaks a tackle. Still on his feet. One more to beat and wrestled down at the 5-yard line by Alvarez. Nice run by Seth Cunningham.
Seth Cunningham is doing the job. I just, honestly, if I was the coach, just give the number 1. He's the one that's doing a lot of work right there. I mean, his effort and his energy in running is just physical runner. I mean, really proud of what he's doing.
So first and goal from the 25 got them back to second and goal at the 7-yard line. So they're kind of back where they started from here. He got back all of the penalty. Cunningham stands behind Outlaw. Outlaw on the trap to Ryan Outlaw, and Outlaw is going to cut it back and waltz into the end zone with a little shoulder boom. Touchdown, Crusaders. Ryan Outlaw from 7 yards out.
It's a good series for them. Definitely puts them, in 21-0. It's going to get them to really think about what they have to do right now. Defensively, all they got to do is pin their ears. If they're going to throw the ball, they're going to go after them. But that was a good series for them. Man, a lot of flags up in the air, though. Match the shoes.
Jamison in for the extra point out of the hold of Xavier Jackson with 9:04 remaining in the third period. Snap is good, and the kick is good. So 9:04 remaining here in the third period. 21-0 Thames River on top of Quinnebog Valley. We'll take a quick break. You're watching Game Day live on theday.com.
You buy better. Better at first. Much better. So much better at first. The right insurance at the right price. You buy better at first. You buy better at first. You buy better.
The Burns Agency can feel it, and we know you feel it too. Fall is here. Crisp air, falling leaves, pumpkin everything, and football. So much football. With a new season upon us, it's a great opportunity to take a quick time out and make sure your insurance program is in order. The Burns Agency is here to help you play by play. Strong coverage, dependable service, and touchdown savings. Give us a call or visit us online. The Burns Agency, proudly serving Eastern Connecticut since 1932.
21-0 Thames River on top of Quinnebog Valley with 9:04 remaining here in the third period, and awaiting the kick will be the Pride. And as they saw Thames River take the kickoff opening the second half and drive right down the field for a touchdown. Jamison with the kick, and it bounces and taken by Quinnebog Valley at the 32-yard line. They'll end up there with a first down. Quinnebog Valley has been very aggressive with the kick returns. Mason Hill that time. That's a difficult pickup off the bounce, but he took it and got them up in a good field position.
Yeah, this is good for them right now to start here. They definitely have to have some kind of a good positive series here. If they take chunks in yardage and kill the clock, or if they can get the score, this will help them out.
On the 33.
Again, join us tomorrow at Fitch High School at 10 a.m. start. The Falcons take on the Ledyard Colonels in the battle for the sword. And we'll have all the action live on game day.
I can't wait for that one.
Motion man comes across for Quinebaug Valley. Handoff. Gain of maybe 2 on the play. Lamoth with the carry for the Pride. What are you more excited about? The Ledyard Fitch game or the post-game dinner that you're going to eat afterwards?
Oh, well, I'm going to be jumping from place to place. So after the game, I have a couple of spots that I'm going to go to. So I'm going to definitely think that the post-game will be the deal. But, you know, with a game like that, with the energy, the numbers, you know, I'm excited to see what's going to happen there.
I'm going to put a call out here in a second to anyone watching and or to Mark Romano over at Fitch High School. Hand off, bouncing outside, big hold. Alvarez crosses the 50, and he's wrestled out of bounds by Jackson, but into Thames River territory. Now, anyone out there watching, it is Thanksgiving tomorrow. I cannot solicit this, you know, on behalf of anyone other than myself. But anybody out there wants to deliver a pie to the press box tomorrow for pasta and me, I'm not going to say no.
I'll pray for you.
I might share it with some of our game day crew, even depending on the kind of pie. And, you know, if Mark Romano is listening or watching right now, just saying, a little pie on Thanksgiving wouldn't hurt anybody. Nothing wrong with breakfast pie.
I'll take another metformin and make sure my sugar levels are low.
That's right. There you go.
We'll make it happen. You know, that's one thing I got to give props to. These medicines out there that are keeping my sweetness low. Even though, I mean, nice pie, like a pumpkin pie. Now you got me going.
Breakfast pie. There's nothing wrong with breakfast pie.
Breakfast pie with some sausage. Oh my God! Now my belly's grumbling. Oh.
2nd down and 20. There was a penalty on that nice run by Alvarez. Unfortunately for Quinebaug Valley, it's going to be now 2nd and long. And that ball was picked up on his knee. Hanshaw, the quarterback, was on the knee when he grabbed the ball, so that's down immediately. And that'll bring up a long 3rd down play for Quinebaug Valley.
All right, since it's going to be cold tomorrow, we know that's going to happen. What kind of hot sauce you want to bring to the table? You want to eat some Frank's? You want to get the Goya one?
Is it going to be cold tomorrow?
It's going to be slightly chilly.
Yeah, tomorrow, what's the temperature tomorrow?
Well, I don't know. If they got chili out there, I'm going to eat that too.
Now you got me. Now I got to take a look.
Check the temperature there.
It's going to be chilly, and you want some chili.
You've been good on the NASDAQ with all the football stats. We got to see now the weather, how it goes.
That's fine. I can do that for you right now. It's going to be 3rd down and 20 plus for Quinebaug Valley. Hanshaw under center. Motion man. Little trap play, ball on the turf. Looks like Quinebaug Valley recovers it, but it's going to bring up 4th and long. Temperature at game time tomorrow, 47 degrees. That's a ball. I can play golf tomorrow with 47 degrees.
You know what? It depends on the wheelchair factor now, because remember, we're going up the hill. And that wind comes from the back end, it hits the back of the neck, and it'll fly right over to our faces when we announce the game tomorrow.
You know what warms the body?
What's that?
Pie.
Pie, yeah.
Just saying.
You know, some apple pie with the cinnamon. Oh, my
God.
God.
Apple pie in the
warm
morning.
apple pie?
I mean, an apple a day keeps the doctor away, right? So how about an apple pie in the morning?
I'll take a whole bag of apples with some dough. I'm good with that. That is apple pie.
Punt for Quinebaug Valley, and that's hammered. Nicely done. Will cross midfield. Taken by Velez, and he'll be down the sideline. They're going to whistle him out of bounds at the 28-yard line. So Velez stepped out at the 28, and that's where the Crusaders will have it 1st and 10.
Good field position for them right now.
See, I have to say, Pasta, I've loved having you every game, but you know, when the sports doctor and I did games, that conversation would have been about, you know, Dokken and Slaughter at the Woodstock Fair instead of about cinnamon pie on a Thanksgiving morning. I'm much more comfortable having this conversation with you.
You know, man.
2 guys who are not afraid of their love of all things delicious.
Morning sausage and peppers before the game starts, you know, kind of warm the soul.
That's all right. We're going to have another question I'm going to come up with after this play here on 1st down from the Crusaders. Roll out, Outlaw in the flat, has his man, Jackson with the catch, and he crosses the 20-yard line. Wide open is right. That ball was nicely thrown Outlaw to Jackson. What do you think of as the quintessential morning stop before a Thanksgiving football game?
Ooh, morning stop. You know, when I was at Stonington, there was a nice little restaurant that Kent and I used to go to. And we have like a little meal beforehand. Oh, man. If anything.
Did you have soupy on Thanksgiving?
Soupy? Oh, don't start with that. The other day I went to Vacatores and got myself a soupy grinder.
Oh, I do like a good
I
soupy
fell in love.
grinder.
The Stonington family were the originals that gave me soupy. I had 2 sticks, and I ate them at halftime.
I'm going to give you a little soupy story right after this. Outlaw on first down, a little bubble screen. It goes to Eddie. Eddie breaks a tackle and crosses over the 5-yard line to the 3-yard line. That'll bring up first and goal. Jonah Eddie with a nice reception. Mike DeMora points out it is the Bird's Eye in New London. Everybody will be down there at the Eye, absolutely, with a variety of ways to warm the stomach in an early morning.
He's got the details. He's got the details. He comes around it.
Right over here, the Bridge, great deli right down the road here, owned by family and friends, had a soupy pizza the other day. That was, oh my.
My first soupy pizza, well done, was at the Pizza Lady at Stonington. Oh my goodness. I passed out.
Cunningham with the handoff, and he is going to tiptoe his way into the end zone. 27-0, Thames River running away with it here in the second half as they go right down the field and score.
No, definitely they are. Again, they've made some good play calls tonight and knowing where to attack. You know, I know that Quinebaug Valley is trying to do their best to stop the run, but as soon as they make an adjustment, these guys will call a play that's going to affect the other side there. So, you know, great job from the play calling on the sidelines to the way the team has been executing it.
So Jamison will be in for the extra point out of the hold of Jackson. Good snap. Hold is up. Kick is straight and through and good. 28-0 on top. We will try to get an updated Cromwell Rocky Hill score as well as updates on the other scores around the state that are of interest. We'll talk for a second. You know, we talked about the strength of schedule for Thames River and how it's going to affect them. What I don't want to lose sight of is the talent of Thames River and the coaching of Thames River. There is probably no team in the ECC that would not take a Seth Cunningham, Ryan Outlaw duo running the football with a quarterback as talented as Justin Outlaw. Ryan Outlaw has 70, Justin Outlaw has 92, Cunningham has 74 yards.
That's a balance.
That trio right there can play for any team in the thing. Their line is big. They are well coached. They've got explosive players. The issue isn't their talent or their coaching. The issue is when you play a strength of schedule where you don't get to see the strength, speed, and execution.
The matchups.
You don't know, and you can't practice against what you're going to see from Killingly. Because the only way to see it is to actually feel it. And that's going to be the challenge, is how long will it take them to catch up to the speed of the team they play in the first round of the postseason?
Well, I feel like what they're doing and as a coaching staff is to continue to strengthen and implement what their offense is doing and upgrade it as needed. What I like about it is that when you see these guys that are running, you know, Outlaw's running 70, his brother's running 92 and 74, they're blocking for each other. You know, that passion to be like, okay, when I don't have the ball, I'm blocking for somebody, is something that you don't see. And you know what? When they face teams like that and they could show that kind of teamwork and team ethic and face a team and say, yeah, we can compete, it can light them up. But at the same time, if they're not seeing anything successful when a team that has had a season experience comes in there and starts smashing them, you know, they might just be shocked about it. But what I'm seeing tonight is that they are playing for each other, and they're excited. I mean, they're running to the ball, and, you know, when Seth has the ball, the Outlaws are blocking. When one of the Outlaws have it, they're all blocking. So it's not a lazy thing. They're really working together.
First down, Quinebaug Valley, 4:36 remaining here in the third period, 29-0, or 28-0. Handoff goes to Lamoth, and not much there. He'll be brought down after minimal gain, maybe even a minor loss. It'll be right at the mark, second down.
My biggest concern that I see is how the defense is going to rally when they face an offensive team that has multiple athletes that can play. You know, that's where it's going to be a shocker. This defense all year long has faced these teams and have pretty much dominated across the board. I mean, to give only team-digit numbers, that's a phenomenal thing that this team has done this year that will be historical in their program. But now when you go face those big boys and you're competing, you're going to have to play defense a lot better and more disciplined.
Second and 10, under 4 minutes remaining. Here comes the stretch eye, as I'm going to call it.
Good call. Good call.
Toss right. And back to the original line of scrimmage. So that's a 12-yard gain to get back to the original line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
As we'll bring up third and 9.
Again, there's things that we know in physics that we've learned through different laws and all that. When you have a tailback that deep, it's not going to be, positive. And I'm kind of shocked that they're still running it that deep.
Fairfield Prep 24-0 over West Haven. Just check that. Cromwell 24-0 over Rocky Hill.
Wow, Valley is excited right now.
So Valley's cry was, "Go Cromwell! Come on, Cromwell, we need you." Well, 24-0. Cromwell well on its way to putting Valley in the mix, and what a great rematch that would be
a really
for
good
an
rematch.
opening round of the state playoffs. A Cromwell Valley, the repeat.
The showdown.
Part 2. Shotgun formation here on 3rd and long. High snap. And in the flat, incomplete, as it was just off the hands of Booton, and it'll be 4th down. Quinnebog Valley will have to punt. Weathersfield, Newington, still 14-7. Newington on top, and 6:40 remaining in the 3rd quarter there. Of course, if Newington can hold on, then this Thames River team will likely get a home game and might in fact be home against that same Weathersfield team. High snap, going for it on 4th down. Bubble screen, tipped, and almost intercepted. Big guy had a chance, got the tip, but couldn't get the interception. David Klang, and right there in his hands and went clang.
Oh my goodness, I'm a lineman, and that was a dream come true. If he would have just tipped it and caught it, it was clear sailings as his teammates would have blocked it. But as soon as we know this, I think secretly he probably just was tasting some of that turkey juice and he had it in his fingers because that just came right out of his hands.
I'm going to say that his hands are an onomatopoeia.
Yeah.
And they went clang.
Clang.
I don't know how many people would, I actually had a young girl many years ago that I had to deal with in the state whose name was Quietly. And I asked her mom, I said, so you decided to name your daughter an adverb? And the mom was nonplussed with mine saying that her daughter was an adverb. I thought it was being clever.
Yeah.
Quietly. The only thing about her that was quiet was her name, her mom said. Oh, nice.
Oh, what a great play.
Pursuit and a big tackle. Jaden Di Pasquale.
Well
Di
said.
Pasquale.
Wow. I mean, this league has had a lot of players. One that I saw play basketball, Sincere. Having these unique names that came across the board. Has there been anybody that, while you were doing the course of commentating, that you said, I like this name, even though it's unique, it's kind of...
Yes, Unique was actually one of the names that
really?
I liked.
Look at that. Boy, talk about a pass on that one, right?
One of my favorite, Mike DeMauro and I have had many conversations over the years. We love names. We love the creativity that parents often, give their kids names, and sometimes, and I'm a big fan. John Smith doesn't do it for me. I want to. Here comes 2nd and long. Outlaw from the shotgun. Cunningham. That time Outlaw just muffed the snap, and it's going to be recovered at the 50-yard line by Ryan Outlaw. But that one was not on the center. That one hit Justin in the hands, and he just I think take your eyes off it, right? Looking for that first read, and ball hit you in the hands.
This is great thing, you never can stop coaching. I mean, during practice, what you could do is take the ball and put him in a cold igloo and have them practice this. They're going to need it. Bill Belichick was great for this. I remember one time watching a video where Bill Belichick sprayed the water on the ball because he knew that game was going to be a rainy game.
Coaches have the bucket now. They have the bucket. They drop the balls in the bucket before the game, practice the wet weather. Outlaw to throw here on 3rd down. Pressure. Rolls. Launches it deep downfield and brought down by Eddie at the 22-yard line. Jonah Eddy went up athletic, brought it down. 1st down, Thames River.
What a catch. I tell you, Outlaw was patient. He knew that he had to throw it at a spot, but
Eddie came down hard on his hip, too.
Yeah.
He's running off. I had a kid whose middle name was Money. His name was Maximo Money was his middle name. And he said, call me Money. And I said, I will not. 1st down, Thames River. 45 seconds remaining here in the 3rd period. 28-0, Crusaders on top. Cunningham goes to the left of Outlaw. Outlaw, he's going to throw from the pocket. Down, corner route, has his man, just incomplete. Jackson was running free, and Outlaw put it a little bit too much to the inside. And if he had thrown it to the pylon, I think Jackson might have gotten there.
Yeah, Quinebaug Valley is just playing deep quarters right now, just trying to keep everybody in front. And even that's a little bit difficult. But the routes seem, they're running it good. It's just the timing with the ball. A lot of missed snaps tonight. I mean, if there's anything that I got to go back to review on film is just those little things, snaps and penalties. How can we fix that? Because if you play again next week, you know, God willing, if things work out, they have a home game. You want to play at your best.
Gonna give a quick shout out down in Florida to my biggest fan, and the only time where she likes my partner every bit as much as she likes me. My mom Reset, watching down from sunny Florida. It's probably still sunny there.
Hey, Mama, love you.
Quarterback keeper, Outlaw, big yardage out to the outside. I think you'll have a first down. On first down as the clock out of bounds with 21
flag
seconds.
up in here?
But another flag on the play. It was not Outlaw shoes.
Yeah, I definitely want to give a shout out on the hardcore streets of Wisconsin where there's snow. My mom's over there with my brother and my two nieces, and she's so excited because she loves the snow.
She's in Wisconsin?
She's Wisconsin, yeah. And guess what's over there? A beautiful seasoned turkey, seasoned pork shoulders. She's got the rice, the candied rice, everything all done, and lots of cheese that my brother put in a cheese board.
You know the state slogan of Wisconsin, right? Life is Gouda?
Life is Gouda.
They tell you Wisconsin is a beautiful state. It's a little chilly right now, so
Yeah.
I'm glad she likes the snow.
Yeah, she loves it.
So while she's liking the snow, Mom Reset is very pleased to be out on the golf course with 75 degrees tomorrow. 1st and 30, maybe more than that.
Yeah.
Ball at the 48-yard line. I mean, we talked about things to clean up. We're at the end of third quarter. We'll talk about that on the other side. You're watching Game Day live on theday.com.
You buy better. Better first. Much better. So much better first. The right insurance at the right price. You buy better first. You buy better first. You buy better.
The Burns Agency can feel it, and we know you feel it too. Fall is here. Crisp air, falling leaves, pumpkin everything, and football. So much football. With a new season upon us, it's a great opportunity to take a quick time out and make sure your insurance program is in order. The Burns Agency is here to help you play by play. Strong coverage, dependable service, and touchdown savings. Give us a call or visit us online. The Burns Agency, proudly serving Eastern Connecticut since 1932.
Fourth quarter about to begin. You're watching Game Day live on theday.com. Game Day brought to you by Waterford Dental Health. All that's good begins with your smile. Give them a big smile at Waterford Dental Health, and you become their top priority. Their team is dedicated to providing you all the gentle and personalized care you deserve. So contact them today, waterforddentalhealth.com, for more information. Of course, the Foxwoods Player of the Game at the end of this one on Game Day CT and all of our social media sites. You're going to want to find our interview with the coach and with the Foxwoods Player of the Game. For the wonder of it all, it's Foxwoods Resort Casino. Fourth quarter action begin here. 28-0 Thames River on top. They have it 1st and
40.
Yeah, it's second. It's 1st and 40. Ball at the 47-yard line. So we'll, after this play, talk about what that means for Thames River. Outlaw's going to keep it himself, straight up the field. Big hole. Outlaw on his feet and gets back almost to the original line of scrimmage. I believe he does. Wow. It'll bring up 2nd and 10. So, looking at things that need to be cleaned up. Penalties.
Yes.
And snaps.
Snaps.
They cannot have the snaps issues that they have, and they cannot have the penalties.
I mean, playoff football is all about the chess game and being aggressive and making the right calls to get into the end zone quick and fast. I mean, I've seen some teams that are great, but if they start off slow like that, can change the whole dynamic of their game plan. So definitely these are the things they have to review and work on daily to make sure that they can get really right for next week's game.
2nd and 12. Outlaw from the shotgun. Ryan Outlaw goes in motion. Outlaw hands to Cunningham. Big hole up the middle. Cunningham heads to the outside. Stiff arms. One man to beat, and he's tripped up by Lamoth. He had daylight in front of him. He was sniffing the end zone, but he got tripped up by Lamoth. It'll be 1st and goal, Thames River.
I love that kid. He is running wonderful tonight. I mean, just from the first play that he ran the rock to what he did right now, it hasn't changed. It's the same speed, the same attitude, way to finish, driving his shoulders downhill to make sure he gets those extra yardages. Good job tonight. Great leadership.
First and goal on the 7-yard line.
All right, after this play, I'm going to have everybody here weigh in on their favorite Thanksgiving pie and or alternative dessert if you're not a pie fan, which is, sacrilege. But anyway, Cunningham on first down, breaks tackle, breaks another tackle. What an individual effort. Touchdown, Seth Cunningham. You said you love the way this kid's running, and that right there was all individual effort.
He just has that energy, and that's really something that when you're someone that you're scouting tonight, that's something that you're writing down every day. Number one, all those little skills that he has, we got to keep an eye on him. Again, the balance that this offense has with, both Outlaw brothers, that makes it phenomenal. They have some other players there that are fitting it. But to finish it off, the offensive line doing a great job making sure those blocks are done.
Jamison in for the extra point. It is up, and it is good. I would say that my scouting report on Outlaw and Cunningham is tackle low. You cannot tackle them high. They are both very strong runners. All right, so what is the number one Thanksgiving pie for Pasta Centerbridge?
I grew up in New London knowing that in most families that I was around, the pumpkin pie was the baseline. I mean, I love pumpkin pie. I can eat that with whipped cream, without whipped cream, with my rice and beans along the way. I could put it right there. It was just that kind of phenomenal pie for me. But at nighttime, nothing better than, apple pie with some ice cream. So.
All right, Peter Wappy, what is the go-to pie?
Blueberry.
Ooh. Well, you got to remember, Peter,
man.
Peter from the north, he's up north.
He just smurfed
the
us.
Blueberry Bogs.
That was a smurf move there, Peter.
I do love a good blueberry pie, Peter. Apple.
Papa Bill says apple.
Bill Donovan weighing in with the apple. Mike DeMora, what is the go-to pie on Thanksgiving Day?
Cranberry.
Cranberry apple. That sounds awful.
Mike just threw a curveball there.
Mike DeMora just mixed it up on me. So no one here weighed in with which is the pecan pie.
The pecan pie is okay, but I pass out because it's too sweet for me.
Oh, I get that.
But Mike has a point. Mike has a point with cranberry apple pie. I mean, what was it? Cranberry apple?
Electrolytes.
Yeah, he said it helps them, with the track.
Well, Peter Wappy's got the antioxidants going with the blueberry pie.
You're rocking that blueberry. You just threw a curveball on me right there.
I love a good blueberry pie. My wife makes a 7 apple pie, seven different kinds of apples.
Wow.
She makes a pumpkin cheesecake pie, which is like.
Oh, pumpkin
and
cheesecake.
And she makes a pecan pie. She also makes a snickerdoodle pie. And I'm right now, my blood sugar's going up just talking about tomorrow pies. I do love it.
I'm Googling Casey's house right now. Google Casey.
First down, Quinnebog Valley, 35-0 Thames River. Quarterback keeper on first down, and nothing there. Thames River feeling another shutout. They have pitched 6 of them on the year. And I will say, the last time we did Thames River, Jonah Eddy was not in the lineup, was not playing at the time. He's a big difference maker for them. Seems almost like an embarrassment of riches for Eddy to be eligible. On the offensive side, he gets hidden, but he's a very good defensive player, tough as nails, and certainly helping the Crusaders here on the defensive side of the ball. Second down, high snap, pressure, blitz, and they get him back at the 22-yard line. Rushing in was Caleb Del Mestro with the sack. He was the first one to get there. Right now at the end of 3, Newington 17, Wethersfield 7. Thames River will get a home game if that score holds up. So if Newington can hold on and defeat Wethersfield, TRC will play here again on Tuesday.
This is where the defensive coordinators are salivating. I mean, for me, when I play, this is where we know. Pin your ears back and play football. They had 4 defensive linemen in there, and then they had their outside linebacker work on a middle guard stunt, worked right up there and was wide open. So this defense is flying around right now.
Third down and 20-plus for Quinnebog Valley. Thames River now starting to sense that shutout. High snap on the turf, and it's going to be down at the 10-yard line. We've seen both centers struggle here, and that one was just right over the head of Hanshaw.
Yeah, that center right now was thinking if there was a middle linebacker coming, there was a backer that showed pressure, and instead of him focusing on that snap first, he was thinking of every other aspect, and that's why he had that high snap. Cranberry apple pie? I'm still hurting on that one.
Well, listen, I give Mike DeMoro credit for beating, his own, marching to the beat of his own drum.
Yeah, and cranberry apple. I want to try it, but at the same time, will that affect my medication?
I do love the blueberry suggestion for Peter Wappy. Blueberry's good.
rocked
Warm
it.
blueberry pie with ice cream is also solid. That's a good choice right there. We're going to get a little movement here and a penalty against Quinebaug Valley on 4th down. Now, growing up in my household, my stepfather, the great late Dr. Rene Rissette, was a chef beyond compare and made all kinds of great foods. And my mom would also help him out. He would make a blueberry crisp that was fabulous. And my mom would do the apple pie, but my mom would make a homemade whipped cream from scratch.
Oh.
And the great Jason Appleby.
With the heavy
your
cream?
guy, your guy, Jay App. And that ball is snapped through the end zone. That'll be a safety for Thames River.
Wow.
The great Jason Appleby would come over, and while the rest of us ate pie, he would just grab the bucket of the whipped cream, and he would just sit and eat whipped cream straight from the thing. So, if Killingly beats Woodstock tomorrow, Thames will be the number 4.
Right.
Number 3, if somehow Woodstock upsets Killingly. So, if Killingly wins, Thames River's the 4.
Yep.
If the Centaurs, or the Man Horses, as it was called in the text I just read, they win, then they will be the 3. So, Thames River well on its way to a home game on Tuesday, dependent on the Killingly Woodstock result.
Great for this program for the first year to do what they have to do. The fans are excited.
TRC fans
they're cheering on here.
All right, continuing on. What is your most underrated and overrated Thanksgiving side dish? The most underrated Thanksgiving side dish and the most overrated Thanksgiving side dish.
All right, I'll go first with this one. This is easy. I never had cranberry in Thanksgiving.
All right, so you're not a fan of the cranberry.
I love cranberry juice. I drink it all year long, so, I take the cranberry off the list. But nothing better than the skin of the turkey or the skin of the pork shoulder. You have it right there while you're eating, you chew it, you gnarl it. That used to be the rough in me. Nothing better than a piece of crackling from the skin of the turkey, as well as the pork shoulder.
The onside kick on the free kick handled by by Anthony Santacroce. Santacroce handles it, and it'll be Thames River ball. Peter Wappy, what's the most underrated side dish on Thanksgiving?
So, I'm going to say stuffing, because I would make stuffing the main course. If
you would just be all about the stuffing.
Yes, I'll do half a plate of stuffing, and then whatever else I can fit.
What is the most overrated Thanksgiving side dish?
Well, cranberry is the easy answer. I'll go mashed potatoes, maybe. Because it kind of depends on who makes them, right?
Bad mashed potatoes are essentially caulk that you can like respackle tiles with.
I did that for
bad
the bathroom.
mashed potatoes.
Last year I used the leftovers to the bathroom. Yeah.
Pitch right goes to Cunningham. He's got a big hole, breaks off a tackle, stiff arms one, breaks another tackle. He is not going to be denied. Touchdown, Seth Cunningham. One-man show on that long touchdown run.
Senior leadership, producing effort, equals touchdown, because that young man put it out there today.
4:35 with a running clock here in the fourth period. 43. It should be 42-0.
Yeah. Hey, remind me to tell you about the Thanksgiving miracle that happened during the Sanabria year.
Seth Cunningham, 142 yards. Justin Outlaw, 120 yards here, leading the rushing attacks.
So, after this kick, I'll tell you.
And the score is correct because I forgot the safety. They had it right. That's a busted play here on the extra point, and it'll be 43-0, Thames River on top. Tell me about the miracle.
So, during a Thanksgiving era, and I think my brother Benny's listening to me right now, and Henry and my mom are probably listening about this one. We had usually before we have our prayer. We get together and we say what we're thankful for Thanksgiving. Then we hold down our hands and my dad prays. While we're sitting there and praying, my dad saying the prayer, we all had our heads bowed down. We were quiet and just focused on Dad's prayer. When he finished, we opened our eyes. My brother's Benny plate filled to the rim with all the trimmings and everything. And we knew, we're like, yo, brother, I had Benny's hand to the right. Henry had Benny's hand to the left. How can this happen? No one till this day knows how he put all that food in the plate. As soon as Dad said amen, we opened our eyes. This plate was set.
It was
I love my brothers.
It was a Thanksgiving miracle.
Thanksgiving miracle, brother.
17-14 now. Newington still with a 3-point lead. That's 6:45 remaining in the fourth period as Wethersfield popped a score to bring it to within 3. And Newington will have the football with 6:40 remaining in the fourth period. They'll have it in good field position at their own 40. High end-over-end kick by Jamison, taken by Quinebaug Valley and muffed, and so they'll fall on it at the 30-yard line where it'll be first down. Daly finally fell on it with a running clock of 4:20. We'll get in a couple of announcements now. So with Thames River well on their way to victory, we're going to say congratulations to the Crusaders for their postseason berth and their undefeated 10-0 regular season. They should get a home game. The solidification of what seed they are in will come through after all of these games are played tomorrow. We also want to say congratulations to Wyndham and to Killingly.
Yes.
Ledyard is on the line a little bit tomorrow when they're on the road at Fitch. That's the game we will have for you, 10 a.m. tomorrow. Also, the Valley Regional is very excited. Valley's pumped because Cromwell is putting a hurting on Rocky Hill. It was 31-7, and so we fully expect Valley to be in as well. So a lot of our local teams here making the postseason. Congratulations to all of those teams. We will have the interview with Coach Craig Sylvester as well as the Foxwoods player of the game. We are 3 minutes and 10 seconds remaining on a running clock. And, of course, tomorrow we are going to do this all over again over at Fitch High School at 10 a.m. start.
Up the hill.
And we will be talking all about Thanksgiving food again tomorrow. New audience, new time.
By that time, it'll be the fragrance of leaving the food there to be prepared and then to have that motivation to do the game in this frigid weather at 47 degrees to come back home, you know. Might go to see Peter real quick to slip in a blueberry pie there because that
blueberry
really got me
pie.
thinking, blueberry pie was
That's a
number
solid
one.
call.
I've got a quarter of a blueberry pie left over in the fridge right now.
That's what's up.
Pre-Thanksgiving. The test run was at the test pie.
We had an annual Friends Thanksgiving party the weekend before,
which is just an excuse for blueberry pie.
That pie is marinated right there. That's been flavorful right there for a week.
I do love a good blueberry pie. Not gonna lie. Third down, ball put up, and there was a man running open, Alvarez, but incomplete. And that'll bring up fourth down. Then again, the clock running 2 minutes.
Yeah, this defense is putting some good pressure up the middle. A lot of stunning from the line, and probably a slant that was going on there. And then they did a go with the backer. And the line really, offensive line for Quinebaug is just having a hard time catching it up.
So I think the plan is blueberry pie for breakfast tomorrow.
Solid choice.
And then we've got a bumbleberry pie and a chocolate peanut butter pie.
Oh,
what's up with the bumbleberry? What's that?
Good stuff. Bumbleberry is solid. Fourth down play, Quinebaug Valley will turn it over on downs. The clock will continue to run, though, with 1:30.
So you don't know the bumbleberry pie?
No, I'm thinking of the Optimus Prime right now. Bumbleberry. Let's have a slice of bumbleberry pie. What do you think? That was good, right?
Yes, that's what it is from now on.
Peter, pass me a slice of that bumbleberry pie. I'll give you the Orion box.
Years ago, the Decepticons came to Earth looking for the bumbleberry pie.
It's a great effort tonight, man. Good showing. I'll tell you, the fans are staying all the way to the end to celebrate with this team. It's a great effort.
There'll be a lot of excitement. We will, of course, in a minute from now, we will have our Foxwoods player of the game, as well as head coach Craig Sylvester. We're going to talk about what it means to have an undefeated season, what it means to have a home game in the postseason, and what it means to celebrate here in this new facility as the clock will run out. Ryan Outlaw with the handoff, breaks a tackle, and ridden down at the 30-yard line. Clock will continue to run.
Once they wind this whistle, I think they don't have to snap it anymore. Once they set the ball. Man, what a good night. It was a very close game. We're looking at the second half. It was only 14-0. And his team that showed their second half efforts.
So they will finish the year, the regular season, with 485 points.
485 points with the defense only giving up 19.
19.
Wow.
Which means they, on the average, score 48 points a game and give up
1.9 points.
48 to 2 on the average score. Clocks, 0-0, 43-0, Thames River on top. Come on back tomorrow and we'll be having Fitch and Ledgerd. And of course, Game Day CT, social media sites for our Foxwoods player of the game. For Pasta Santabria, Mike Tomorrow, Peter Wappy, and the crew.
Woo!
Casey O'Neill, good night, everybody.
Good night.
Not many teams finish undefeated.